Good evening, everyone. How are you doing today? Oh, let me make sure this is off. Hold on. Okay. So as soon as I made this, well, I made this live. I think I posted it like an hour ago, and then like 10 minutes ago, I saw that she has a premiere that's starting in 15 minutes. So we can always, maybe sniper stream that, or if people want to watch that instead, I totally understand. I'm not sure how long it will last. She's just going to go over a ruling from It Ends With Us, which we're actually going to touch on It Ends With Us today. And then you guys can always come back here. So I'll just wait and let's see if anyone really comes in. Oh, Kenny, how are you? Good to see you. Hello, everyone. Has it been crazy for anyone else like the past few days? I just feel like this week, what day are we on? Wednesday? Well, for some people, Thursday. It's been insane. So we'll just see if anyone else comes in while we're waiting. Just want to let you guys know I did do the EKG and I did pass. It was so easy. I'll never be scared again. Oh, it's been crazy for you too, Roswell? Okay, so it's not just over here. All right. Hello, hello. And thank you, Khaleesi, for being here. So we'll see what happens. Oh, look, there's Trish. How you doing? How's our chat, baby? Kenny says, I just got my notification, so I am sure they will file on in. Okay. Oh, here we go. Hey, Elsie. How you doing? Welcome. Oh, Shanonos, look at you and your cute little Lottie, your cute puppy. Thank you for stopping in. So we're even going to talk about It Ends With Us today. Can you believe that? There's so many crazy things going on. So let's just get into it. Okay, look, first we have to celebrate this. Aaron Spencer, who, gosh, he is just a legend. He's the hero. And like this says, is the father who offed his daughter's, what do you call it? I can't say the word yet. You're not supposed to say it in the first 10 minutes of YouTube, but whatever. The daughter's like the PDF file for he's running for sheriff while out on bail, and he just won. So he won the primaries, which is like a huge deal. So excited for him. And you know what it made me think of? It like reminded me of like how is Judge Elmore celebrating this? I was like, is she driving around? Is she like hitting some cars? Is she drinking? I mean, she's probably not very happy about it. That poor, yeah, remember this lady who hit the car? That judge, I feel like she's probably not very happy about it, but this was like I just think this was absolutely amazing. I'm so excited for him. And it says Aaron Spencer wins primary for Lonoke County Sheriff in high profile contest. And it says in a primary race that drew national attention and raised questions about the future of local law enforcement, Aaron Spencer has emerged victorious, securing the Republican nomination for Lonoke County Sheriff and advancing to the November general election. Spencer's win caps a dramatic campaign shaped by intense personal tragedy and fierce debate over public safety, transparency, and justice in one of Arkansas's most closely watched local contests. It says, I'm incredibly grateful to the people of Lonoke County for placing their trust in me. Thank you to everyone who supported this campaign, worked hard, and showed up to vote, Spencer tells KATV. This is an important step forward, but we still have one more election ahead. I look forward to continuing this conversation with the people of Lonoke County as we work toward building a safer, stronger Lonoke County. At the center of Spencer's campaign was a moment that changed his life, a fatal 2024 shooting that sparked widespread discussion across Arkansas and beyond. Spencer has been charged with second-degree murder in the death of a man he believed was S.A.ing his then 14-year-old daughter. The case has been the subject of legal proceedings and public debate as his campaign unfolded. I believe that I did what any good father would do in that situation that I was put in, Spencer said. Though he could not speak in detail about the ongoing criminal case, Spencer said the events of that day drove his decision to run for sheriff. He told KATV his campaign was about building bridges between law enforcement and the community and addressing what he sees as longstanding gaps in trust and accountability. Supporters rallied around that message at the polls, helping propel Spencer past his GOP challengers, including incumbent Sheriff John Daly and fellow Republican David Bufford, in a race where local voters said change was a central theme. Now, with the primary behind him, Spencer turns his full attention to November's general election. I'm just so happy for him. Like, if I had a soundboard, I'd play like applause sound or something. I think it's incredible. So exciting. So good for him. I love it when we actually hear, some good news around here sometimes. And let's go to oh, yes, that's right. So and it looks like so we don't get all the local news, around the country, but it looked like the people he was running against had some not nice things to say about him. So Aaron Spencer's attorneys put out this letter, and I just thought it was very interesting because they said response to comments made by Lonoke County officials regarding the Aaron Spencer case. And they said Lonoke County residents have rallied behind Aaron Spencer, not just in his legal defense, but in his broader mission to bring accountability to a county government that has long operated without it. The election results have no bearing on the facts of this case. Aaron did exactly what Arkansas law allows and exactly what any father would do. He protected his daughter and himself from harm. In an effort to distract and mislead the public, outgoing officials have made statements that serve their own agendas at the expense of truth. Sheriff Daly claimed Aaron hit the vehicle, got out, and just started shooting. Conduct Daly said even his deputies would be charged for. Prosecuting attorney Graham appeared on television this week and characterized the case as a person who just goes and kills somebody, like the Wild West. Michael Fossler was not just somebody. The evidence from Graham's own court filings prove these public statements are irreconcilable with reality. So, I mean, everyone's trying to like say stuff and hit his lawyers like shut it all down. I just thought like good for I love his legal team, I really do. Thank goodness that everyone who helped contribute to his GoFundMe because that's pretty good. Yeah, that was bumper cars with Judge Elmore. She's out of control. Um, and it looks like my chat is freezing again, so I'm just gonna pull up my YouTube really quick just in case so I can see the chat. Just in case it could just be I don't have a lot of people, but I just wanna make sure I don't miss anything. Okay. Yeah, see, it's like I'm totally behind. All right, so let's keep going. Do you guys want me to read any more of that? Hold on. Well, let's see. It says, mm, Graham's claim that this office simply follows the law invites scrutiny. The people of Lonoke County know his record. Staley's claim that his own deputies would face charges in Aaron's situation is equally at odds with his documented record of failing to hold officers accountable. The people standing behind Aaron Spencer are not a mob. They are parents, veterans, and neighbors who watched the system fail and support a father who stepped in. That is a community recognizing a system failure and demanding that its public officials do what is right. We said from the beginning that Aaron was justified under Arkansas law in protecting his daughter, and every time the facts have come into focus, that conclusion has only become clearer. We look forward to presenting the full truth to a jury of his peers in a courtroom under the law and in the light of day. So I mean, I love his counsel, and truly, this is like a sign in my eyes. Like if they still try him, I think that like this is just like it just goes to show, I think the jury is going to side with Aaron Spencer. Like, if they're already voting for him, he was a nobody, and he was on trial for murder, and then they voted him, over in the primaries. He won in the primaries. That's not easy to do if you're like a nobody. So that's a big deal. And I'm so proud of everyone in Arkansas who went out and voted because I know so many people don't vote in primaries, but people did. They came out and they voted. Good for them. And Lori's not here, but I'm sure she would be just as excited because she's still planning on going to the trial, which is supposedly supposed to start, I think, in May, unless they settle or something happens. So they come to their senses, maybe. Look, DFJ is Kenny says DFJ is the one of the like two people I say yay when I see a live coming up right now. Oh, that is so sweet. Well, thank you. Okay, I really appreciate it. And I get so excited when I see you in the chat, and I just love this chat. Like seriously, I've had like such a crazy, crazy week, I feel. And I was talking with Laura today. I was like, I just need to go live because I miss everyone. Not like there's like that many updates in any of the cases we're doing. But we did get and look at it's like I'm dusting off the it ends with us files because something finally happened, I feel, in that case. So yeah, it was nothing, not a big deal. I mean, this is just how Lyman always says it, but we basically got an extension. So I guess the next big thing we're going to see is April 3rd is we're going to hopefully see the pretrial filings. April 10th, parties to file opposition to motions in limine, and April 17th, parties to file oppositions to the Dober motions, if any. So maybe we'll finally see some action on this case. And again, like I said, when I had started, it looks like there was some sort of anti-slap ruling today for uh, Baldoni against like some of, I don't know, lively statements. And apparently Lauren is going to go live in like 2 minutes to, well, it's not really live, it's a pre-recorded live. And so she's going to go over that. And so hopefully we'll have some people report back to us and let us know what happened. And this was like so old. I think this was even last week, but I was just like, I was kind of shocked to see that Jen Abel like actually posted all this stuff. Like it's usually in a case, you know, during a trial or during a case, actually signing the trial yet, but you know, we're about to, trial's about to, hopefully is upon us soon this summer. And then she also has the other case with Stephanie Jones. So usually you don't really post things like while there is something, but you know, she just did this post. I don't know if it was approved by her lawyers or what, or if she just felt the need to do it, or if her account was hacked. But it basically showed that like it looks like people are still trying to get into her Twitter account or whatever this is, Insta, and or TikTok. I guess it says right there, TikTok. And yeah, so she basically, you know, was just trying to. I don't really know. What did you guys think about this? You know, I have her side because it's basically her or Stephanie Jones, and it's hard to pick Stephanie Jones. But it was just I just thought it was interesting, you know, basically she was just trying to justify like what happened. And, you know, she has gone through a lot of bad things. I feel really bad for her. Yeah, I agree with you, Khaleesi. That is very sad and infuriating for Jen Abel. Yeah, and I honestly I feel like Stephanie Jones. I mean, I started this channel. I basically ended up starting, I think my very first video was on Stephanie Jones because I said it starts with Stephanie Jones. And I did like oh my God, it was so rough. It wasn't even a live video, you know, it was a pre-recorded video. But I basically, you know, was showing all the receipts of just like how this was concocted and, you know, how basically I feel like she somehow convinced Lively to fight for her. And what she did to Jen Abel was awful. So whatever, I thought that's interesting. Okay, so again, I titled this episode, I think like winners and losers. So we had the winner was Aaron Spencer. I don't know what you want to say with Jen Abel, if she's a winner or maybe Stephanie Jones is a loser, but this was crazy. So remember this chick from the uh, Nancy Guthrie case. Remember, she went and she you said pre-recorded is okay. You're so nice. Well, I think because I don't actually remember because it was so long ago, but when you start with YouTube, I think you had to do a certain amount of hours or something before you went live. I can't really remember, but I had to earn my way. I felt like or something. Um, Stephanie Jones is definitely the loser. Is definitely a loser. I agree. I feel like she constantly like, and she doubles down all the time. So this is what I think is very interesting. I don't know how many of you have seen this because I don't think many of you actually follow this person. I don't, but you know, I had to check in on her account. So this was the one who did that photo shoot, that like OnlyFans photo shoot in front of Nancy Guthrie's house. And so then she made this response video. My name is Kiki and oh yeah, okay. So I just wanted to make sure. Okay. So I downloaded it because I was like, she might delete this. First, let's listen to it. Okay. Her name is Kiki. Let me know what your takeaways are from this. I'm the girl from the videos. When I received an influx of DMs from young people asking me, who is Nancy Guthrie and what are these posts from the New York Post about? I knew it was my job to continue to raise awareness over Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. I wanted to make a public statement exposing the real truth. I'm very well known on a hidden platform which offers a feature to us where you can post videos similarly to YouTube known as OFTV. I flew to Tucson, Arizona to cover. Oops. Uh-oh. Oh, I just messed that up. Sorry. Hold on. My name is Kiki and I'm the girl from the videos. Skip through it.
Yeah, when you bring up the adult.
Uh-oh. What did DFJ just do? Okay. So, okay, first of all, did you catch that? She's like, I'm on a hidden platform where we can post videos called OFTV. Honey, is that OnlyFans TV? Like, what is she talking about? Sorry, we're just going through all these again. Okay, I'm gonna put it back on. I hope it will let me play it from that spot. My name is Kiki, and I'm the girl from the videos. When I received an influx. Hold on. Okay. The channel thumbnail.
Unbeknownst to me, these perverts then directed their entire stream on
Hold on, I'm gonna go back to
talking about her disappearance. I myself showed up for a few hours, maybe 2, with my videographer to record an episode for my own channel. The photos that you are referring to were for the channel thumbnail. Unbeknownst to me, these perverts then directed their entire stream onto me the entire time, accusing me of doing a photo shoot because I refused to speak to them. My main goal when visiting Nancy Guthrie's house was to raise awareness and report facts. This was not about me. This is about Nancy and her family. Not only was I filmed the entire time, I had strange men pulling up, yelling obscenities at me. And as for the New York Post, whose views are already dying, of course they wanted to cover me. That was the biggest story of this entire week. And when it comes to my outfit, I'm free to express myself in whatever way I feel comfortable. It was 95 degrees and it was hot. And aside from that, in my video, nowhere in the video at all do you see my lower half. And the only people paying attention to my lower half and videotaping it for the internet were these self-appointed true crime investigators for YouTube. As for Nancy Guthrie and her family, I'm very, very sorry if any of this have hurt you guys in the process. My outfit was not to be disrespectful. I came there with no intent to do any interviews, any media coverage, anything really about myself rather than to raise awareness to your family and your guys' misfortune. And as for the rest of you, my outfit does not determine my respect, my competence, or my intelligence. One thing that I learned from all of this is that the media is completely fake. They said that I didn't leave flowers. I went to the memorial after I was done recording, laid the flowers down, and said a prayer. And for my final statement, I just want to say God bless the entire Guthrie family, and hopefully we can bring Nancy home safe.
Yeah, you guys. I mean, that's like my third time watching it, and I'm still in shock. Yes, it is the "Suns Out, Buns Out" girl. Yeah. So and yes, exactly, Trish, she said JLR didn't direct his entire stream, and she ignored him. I didn't see anyone yell obscenities. No one was yelling obscenities. First of all, she knows that they have their cameras, like, pointed at this home pretty much all day. I mean, you can see all the media lined up. So if you're gonna go stand in front of those cameras and do a photo shoot, obviously you're gonna get filmed. You're right in front of the house of the biggest kidnapping case we've seen in forever. So, first of all, that makes no sense, okay? These were just my basic notes. She said lots of young people have reached out to her about this case. What? What is she talking about? Does anyone buy that? Who? Who are these young people? And again, this hidden platform on OFTV, I don't even want to Google it. Maybe I'm gonna have to Google it, but I'm guessing it's OnlyFans TV, right? That's what OF is. That's what I think it is. That's what that's what it looks like she's ready dressed for. So I don't know. And then she said she was offended that people were talking about her outfit, but it was like she's like, it was hot. And so that's why she was half naked, wearing all black, and of course leather boots. Like, so it was so hot. So that's why she had the, what do you call it? Yeah, sun's out, buns out, but like, what's the best thing to wear when it's so hot outside? Like, black leather boots, black, all black. I mean, I don't know. Khaleesi said she hopes she finds her shirt. And then and then she said she was posing with these yellow flowers. Oh, she said posing with the yellow flowers, that was her doing a prayer. And it was like, "Oh, because you were caught dancing around, like, with these yellow, like, with the flowers that," who knows if I don't know if she brought them or if she picked them from the memorial. Either way, it's so tacky. Like, the whole thing is so tacky. And I did say she was right about the New York Post, though. Because, like, the New York Post did do, like, an article about her, and so she did get one thing right, but, like, I mean, I've been on her X. I haven't seen a YouTube or, like, any channel, true well, I guess because she said it's on her hidden platform, whatever. Yeah, I think it's the OnlyFans. I hope her own OnlyFans helps. Yeah, it's just so weird. What is she gonna do, fundraise on her OnlyFans? Like, I don't understand. Is there a true crime network on OnlyFans? Which actually, did you guys see that like at least 3 people from Court TV. Today was their last day, which is like, why is Wednesday their last day? But maybe like they should go check out this OnlyFans true crime network or whatever it is that she's talking about, because it makes no sense. Yeah, naked true crime. If she was there for a valid reason, she would have said hello when spoken to. Rose Wild asked, were they fired? I don't think they're fired. So it looks like Long Crime bought Court TV. But originally when this happened, they made it sound like everything's going to be the same. And then all of a sudden today we had Julie, I think it was Julie Grant, and Sunny Slaughter and Matt, I forgot his last name. All 3 of them like said their goodbyes. And I was like, what? So, scroll up to my comment. I looked up OFTV. Okay. Where's your comment? Oh, you know what? I think because this is the last comment I see, that I will. So maybe did YouTube take away your comment? Did it have a sometimes it doesn't post certain words, but usually if it's not showing, I could still see it if it gets deleted, but I can't see it. Okay. What did it say when you looked it up? Okay. Let me see. Yeah, because she didn't know the people were all filming. Exactly, they were all filming. Okay, also, this is just a little side note. So thank you, Rose Wild. She checked in on Lauren's stream or her premiere, and she said that the anti-slap stuff was dismissed, but the malpractice stuff can proceed. Oh, that's interesting. And she said, which is good news. That means another court already shot down the same thing Lively is trying to get. Okay. California ruled that they can't sue over his statements. Well, good. Yeah, take that loss. Perfect. That fits right in with our theme of winners and losers. Sounds like she was a loser. Okay. It says, oh, YouTube doesn't like the advertising of other platforms. Oh, so it's probably one of the words they don't like. Okay, Kenny says, it's a free ad streaming app and website managed by OnlyFans Media Productions Limited, featuring safe for work original content from OnlyFans creators. So are they trying to rebrand? Because like, I mean, OnlyFans is always going to be known as OnlyFans. Like, what are they going to do true crime with like people showing their feet or like half naked? I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe it has a potential. I don't know. Yeah, we could see that one. Thank you, Kenny. So sorry about that. Well, I would say that this girl's a loser, but so did you find was her channel on this? She didn't even shout out her own channel on this secret network. That's interesting. Thanks for looking that up. It takes a village, right? Okay, so we'll go against her. Okay, another thing that happened with this Nancy Guthrie case. Oh, before we get to that, yes, Kenny says, what does safe for work mean? I don't know. How can anything from OnlyFans be safe for work? I don't know, you guys. Rose Wild says the malpractice stuff can proceed is breach of contract, breach of fiduciary duty, and something else. That's the stuff the California judge will allow to go to trial, but also said there will be a problem with trying to sue over someone that is already deceased. Oh, this isn't for Lively. Oh, so this is the guy who is the spouse, right? Of the guy who deceased and they did a show or something. That's what it's about? Really? That's crazy. They're just like, I mean, I know everyone grieves differently, but like that's wild because I don't think he has a case. Correct. Okay, so Travis Flores's widow is the one doing this. Yikes. Hey, you know, just speculation here, just my opinion, allegedly. Do we think that like Ryan Reynolds is funding her? Because who would do that? You know how like when like losing someone and dealing like with the estate and the death and like all the expenses and everything, like the first thing in your mind isn't like, oh, I'm just going to randomly sue someone. But I guess he did die a while ago, right? Maybe like a year ago. Wow. Trish says that was my thought. OnlyFans and safe for work don't go together. Like honestly, like her butt was showing. So I don't know what she's talking about her outfit. Like, don't judge me on my outfit. Would not surprise me. Okay, so it says he sued Brian Freeman over his statements the same way that Blake made a claim over Brian's statements. Oh. Wow. Well, okay. I'm gonna like end up, very soon because it looks like April 6th, we're gonna start maybe getting some more action on It Ends With Us. So I'll get back into that case and I'll re-review that and maybe post that. 'Cause, like my true crime stuff doesn't get any views anyway. So I love you guys all being here. It's like awesome. But I think like, yeah, when I get back into the It Ends With Us stuff, that helps. I think, there's more people like to see that sort of content, I guess. So it is what it is. But back to Nancy Guthrie. Did you guys see this about the FBI, the people? This is the neighbor. Okay, so Brian Enton did an interview with the neighbor that is letting him park in her yard so that he can still report on this case from there. And she was just giving some like a lot of different info really like about, and we actually maybe think now they got that February 11th date from her because she said she saw someone walking from her bathroom window and the guy like looked out of place. He was walking and he was like had his head down and like his hat was like covering his head. He wasn't dressed for like he wasn't like working out walking like a lot of people walk by are usually. He wasn't walking a dog. It wasn't one of the neighbors she knew. So she just said the whole thing looked weird and that he had spent a lot of time like it was slowed down looking around like at Nancy's. So she had mentioned that to the FBI. And so they think maybe that maybe had something to do with the date, but maybe not. Maybe they asked her the date and that triggered her memory to mention that. So I don't know. But I want to say this was the craziest part. I'm going to go to this part of the interview and then we're going to talk about it. So I want to make sure you can hear this. If you can't hear this, let me know in the chat.
She lives right up the street. I went to my sister's house on the second Friday night after Nancy went missing at like 7:30 at night. It was raining with hoodies on, black hoodies, and we're tapping on her windows and frantically ringing her doorbell, and she answered it. I don't remember if they asked to come in or if she just offered for them to come in. It was raining and it was cold. And so they went in. I think the male did not take his hoodie off. The female did. They wanted to know if she had a pacemaker and they wanted to look into her garage. And so she was like, okay. I mean, she was alone and was like, sure, of course, you're the FBI. Apparently on her hoodie was just a little FBI emblem up here. Well, then they left. And
So they were in her house.
They were in her house for like 20 minutes. And talking to her, and she was asking questions and they were kind of vague and the guy didn't really speak and he kind of creeped her out. So they left and my niece called and said, are you sure they were the FBI? Because we all had discussed about copycat crimes, people posing as police officers, things like that. So she called the 1-800-FBI number and it was busy or said they were busy. So she called 911. And within 15 minutes, 10 minutes, there were 7 police cars, 4 FBI agents, said it wasn't the FBI. She was terrified. They swabbed her, fingerprinted the entire house.
So they swabbed her mouth.
They swabbed her mouth.
For DNA, wow.
Yeah. And then were there till the middle of the night and then just left and she was terrified. So the next day at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, she got a call from the large group of FBI agents that were there and said, oh yeah, by the way, that woman was an FBI agent. We don't really know who the guy was, but she was, so you're fine. And she was like, no, I'm not fine. I'd like to know exactly what's her name. Tell me more about it. They were in my home. And it's
So why would they have swabbed her and done fingerprints in the whole house?
Because I think in the beginning, the two entities weren't talking to each other properly. I think the FBI and the sheriff's department were not communicating. So eventually she figured out it was an FBI agent, but the sheriff's department didn't think it was in the beginning. So that's why they went there and swabbed my sister. And yeah.
Can you believe that? Isn't that crazy? First of all, like, they came to her house in the middle of the night wearing black. They didn't have any like really identify anything that identified them as FBI agents besides their word for it and a little thing on one of the girl's shirt that said like FBI. We could buy that. Like anyone could wear anything that said FBI. They ask if she has a pacemaker. Weird, right? Then they check her garage, and it's like at 7:30 at night, which like And we saw it gets dark there. It's just weird. The whole thing is so strange. And then when they asked the police about it, they are like, no, there was no FBI at your house. So then they like freak out. Her house is treated like a crime scene. They're there for 3 to 4 hours swabbing things. Are you serious? And then what I did you guys catch that part where she says something like they knew who the female agent was or something, but they didn't identify the male? It's like, what? It's just so strange. Like, and then they turn around and they're like, "Oh, never mind." So of course they're probably like her sister's probably like in shock, and thinks that like these people came in her house and like God knows what they did. And then they're told, "Oh, never mind, it was FBI." Like, it's just so crazy. But then they can't identify who the second agent is. Okay, so Trish says, okay, what I'm confused about is lady saying the Pima County Sheriff's Office and FBI weren't communicating, but earlier in the interview, she said her sister called the FBI. Oh, did she say she called the FBI, or did she say? Well, she could have. I mean, maybe she called the FBI and was directed to the sheriff, or did she call the FBI and didn't get through? I think is what she said. We can always go back. Do you want me to go back in it? Did that play in this part? Several of the neighbors been saying FBI and police been ignoring what they told them. Yeah, so I don't know if I can help you make sense of that, Trish, but I think, well, this is my guess because most people who have mentioned like calling the FBI to report something, the FBI is like not answering. So I'm guessing then she called like the police. So she probably did try the FBI first, probably called that tip line or something and couldn't get through and then ended up calling the police and then they responded because they have a quicker way of verifying with the FBI, something like that. But then it turns out they didn't because they wasted all those resources coming to her house for 3 to 4 hours. Yes. Okay. So Khaleesi's got it. She said she called the FBI and could not get through. She called the police and they were there in 15 minutes. Exactly. Okay. So that makes the most sense. And then they were there for like 3 or 4 hours. I mean, crazy, right? Just how unorganized and how crazy is that? Like, how is the police office not able to verify something like that important with the FBI? Like, who's leading the on the ground people for the FBI? Like, shouldn't that be an easy phone call, like a group text or something to these people? Maybe on the walkie-talkies or on the radio? Like, don't they have their own private signal number or something? She says, "Oh, maybe I've heard the interview like 3 times. It could have been the way the video was edited too, and info could have been left out." Yeah, but I think I agree with Khaleesi. I'm pretty sure. I mean, we can always go back to was it the part that just played? I'm pretty sure she said that, yeah, and it makes sense because a lot of people were trying to call the FBI for other things, and they all mentioned they couldn't get through. And Kitty says, "Oh no." No wonder they don't want YouTubers or no wonder they didn't want the YouTubers and media to leave. I know. Like, no, I would feel so much safer with them in my yard. Like, yes, please stay in my yard and I want you to record everything because like if FBI comes here at 7 at night and then we're told they're not FBI, I want this all on camera. Yeah, and then Trish says, "I can't fault the lady for making the decision that she did, but looking back, I'm sure she was wondering why she made the decision she did to let them in the house." And I was thinking the same thing, like, what do you do? Like, if this was in your neighborhood, think about it, and like, that there's FBI going around, so if someone says they're FBI, like, you want to believe they're FBI, but like, I don't know. Honestly, I don't think I would let them in if it was that dark. I'd be like, can you verify that? Have like the police department verify this with me? Not like any of us, I don't think, are gonna have that situation anytime soon, but yeah, I think that's a good point. So, okay, we are going to go okay, so Rose Wild says, "Like the perp had a cyst by his eye, and the gun had a small spot for a trigger that all them gloves wouldn't be able to quickly get in, a use if needed, which suggests it was a prop gun." Yeah, probably. Yeah, oh, yeah, so I don't know, everything seems very strange. And she says, "I've been learning all kinds of stuff on the interview room, but I don't see the sheriff or the FBI really doing anything about this stuff brought up there." Yeah. And then Kenny says, "I'm not looking forward to being all triggered again over it ends with us, honestly, but I can't abandon it now." I'm on the same page with you because like, especially with all like a lot of these other cases, that were going on, like this case and like Aaron Spencer, it's like real stuff. And like what Baldoni is going through is legit real. It's like a different type. Like she's still Lively still went out of her way to ruin these people's lives, in my opinion. So it's still definitely very serious. But, it has like really grave consequences, even though it's such a BS case that she's bringing, she's such a clown. So it is, and there's like, it is a lot of drama, and there's a lot of bots and trolls and like somehow brainwashed people who are still signing with her. I don't know. But yeah, I agree with you. However, it is getting towards the trial phase. So I feel like things, I feel like hopefully it's going to get a little more, besides the Judge Lyman, like his rulings where he's going to probably be able to like, rule out a bunch of stuff before trial that he shouldn't. Besides that, I think that there's still enough that like she's going to look bad. I think Wayfair is going to prevail. It's a long way of saying that. Okay, so, and we have to follow through. I agree. We need to know what happens, right? So I don't know, I think that this was for the winners and losers for today. I want to say that the FBI and the sheriff's department were losers for that. That was absolutely crazy. That was insane. So let's go to, oh yeah, that was just an aerial footage. Let's go to, okay. So again, more losers, and we're going to read this on X actually, because there's a lot to this. So this was crazy. So basically, this reporter, she realized that, am I sharing? Let me make sure I'm sharing it. Okay, perfect. She realized that there was some like inconsistencies with Sheriff Bananos with his resume that was public, that's online. So she basically looked into it and then asked him like, for comment. And wait, let me get back to, hold on, wait, I want to get back to my page first because I liked so initially when she reached out to him for comment, this was his response. This was crazy. He said, "That's your urgent request? You sure don't want to go back to my high school and ask why I got swats from the principal? Good luck with your hit piece." Like bizarre. Like what? Like he's so bad at this. So then, but they ended up correcting the resume. So she ended up being right. And it was actually really strange. She brought the receipt. So we have to go back. Let me go back to that tab. I have so many tabs open. So let's go to this. So it says, this was the author. Can you all see this? Okay. All right, great. So she said, news, Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos accused me of writing a hit piece and then confirmed my reporting. Nanos amended his public resume today after I uncovered docs showing he misrepresented his work history. Discrepancies were, quote, not intended to mislead or misrepresent. So we're going to go to her article in 1 second, but there was another part of it. See, sometimes with these people, I'm just like, you guys need to post like your good stuff. Let me go to my profile because she had the receipts. Okay, here. Yes, I said, I love me some receipts. Okay, appears Sheriff Bananos resigned in lieu of termination back in 1982. When Marie asked for comments, Nanos accused her of writing a hit piece. However, his public resume has now been updated, article and comments. So like, see, so basically, yeah, he resigned. And apparently she found it was in lieu of being terminated. So basically, it seemed like he was about to be fired in 1982 and from the El Paso Police Department. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot more there. And then, and so, whoops, yeah, I guess, I don't know. This looks like maybe some sort of like a report issue. It has like the dates or something. We can't really see that much. And then, yeah, so this was like his resume. And yeah, so that was in 82, because he said that he was with the police department until 84 and that he had a promotion. I don't know, it's just interesting. Right? Just kind of, it's interesting. It's like, honestly, I get it. Like, this is not an important part of the case, and this is not going to help solve the case or anything. But like, all he had to do was respond to that and just be like, oh, it was like a typo or like an oversight. I mean, just a simple response, it would have been fine. But because then he went into this whole like thing about calling it a hit piece, saying that, admitting that he was getting spanked in high school by the principal. What? Now, hello. He just basically told her, go find my old principal and find out why he was spanking me. I mean, he's turning himself into the show here. And so then after that, it looks like it was corrected. Like the yeah, so they corrected the resume, and let's go to that. Oh, this is something else. Hold on. I'm not sharing the right thing. 1 second. Let me just go back to her page because I want you to see the article. Okay, so here we go. So this is the article. So he revises his resume after a public report, and then there's a paywall. Oh no, it says that AZ is blocked. I can't connect while I'm on StreamYard to this article. Okay, let's try something else. How about let's do the good old archive. See if we can connect that way. But I'm going to link it. I'll link it for y'all in the chat. That's so strange, right? Okay. I'm just trying to see if I can pull it up really quick. Sorry, you guys. Okay, so here. I think I got it. Well, I had to do it this way because even the paywall one wasn't working. Okay. So it says, Arizona Sheriff heading Nancy Guthrie search revises resume after public report. And let me make sure you all can see this. Oh my God, look who I just saw. Miss Christina, how are you doing? Good to see you. Look at all the bananas in the chat. You guys are so funny. Rosewile says, I need Lyman to rule as we feel he should, or I will become triggered again. That case is so triggering. I know. Really. I mean, just look at my playlist. I go off on him so much. So, okay, let's see. Oh, sorry. Don't be sorry. What are you talking about? Don't be sorry. I'm so happy to see you here. We love you, Christina. All right, let's go to this article. Look, so let's just see what the key points. So it says Pima County Sheriff. Okay, so it's not letting me zoom in. Sorry about that. It says that Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos updated his public resume after an Arizona Republic report found it misrepresented his work history. The resume was corrected to show Bananos, just kidding, it doesn't say Bananos, but Bananos left the El Paso Police Department in 1982, not 1984. Records indicate Nanos resigned from the El Paso Department in lieu of termination after disciplinary issues. The Sheriff Department described the resume errors as administrative and unintentional. Yeah, but then he also sent that email back to her saying, like, this is a hit piece, and right now, are you going to go back to my high school and find out why I was spanked? Yeah, I hope she does. I want to know why he was spanked. Okay. So it basically says the revelations about the sheriff's early career as an El Paso police officer raised questions about his background, and his department continued to investigate the disappearance of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie. Nanos' resume posted on the sheriff's department website had said he worked at El Paso Police Department until 84. Records show that Bananos resigned in 82 in lieu of termination from his hometown police department after a string of disciplinary problems 2 years earlier than was stated on his resume. The sheriff's department corrected the El Paso date on his resume and revised the year he was promoted to captain in Pima County. Spokesperson Angelica Carrillo said March 10th. That was yesterday. The Pima County Sheriff Department recently identified 2 clerical errors in Sheriff Nanos' publicly posted resume. Both date discrepancies were administrative in nature and were not intended to mislead or represent Sheriff Nanos' work history. It was a change in tone for the sheriff, who initially declined to answer questions about his work history and accused the Republic of writing a hit piece. That's your urgent request? You sure you don't want to go back to my high school and ask why I got swats from the principal? Good luck with your hit piece, Bananos wrote in an email on March 9th. The department's statement did not acknowledge reporting on Nanos' disciplinary history with the El Paso Police, where he worked from 1976 to 1982. Nanos was suspended or put on leave without pay for a cumulative 37 days during his time in the El Paso department, according to a Republic review of an internal affairs card the department used to document his discipline. Nanos was disciplined for alleged use of excessive force, a shot fired, off-duty gambling, tardiness, failure to report for duty, and other violations of rules and regulations. Why am I not surprised? The sheriff also received written reprimands for dereliction of duty, making threats, and use of siren on a police vehicle that violated the department's orders. In total, 26 allegations were listed on Nanos' internal affairs history card over a 5-year period. So, okay, how many of you have jobs where you can have 26 violations and still be promoted and have a job? I'm just curious. Like, just curious. Anyone? Like, I don't know. I mean, one of my old jobs, it was like basically 3 strikes, you're out. Like, I don't know. Okay, I'll keep going. So basically, Nanos has demonstrated a steadfast commitment to professionalism in his decades-long career in law enforcement, the department said in an email. The Democratic sheriff is an elected official who oversees 1,442 full-time employees and 138 volunteers, according to a 2024 report from the department. Sheriff Nanos has dedicated more than 4 decades to law enforcement and public service. Throughout his career, he has demonstrated a steadfast commitment to professionalism, accountability, and the safety of the communities he serves. As sheriff of Pima County, he continues to lead the department with experience, integrity, and close focus on protecting the residents of Pima County. So that's interesting, right? You know, doesn't it kind of like makes me wonder why he was at the basketball game now? Like, what was he betting on sports back then? I want to know more details. I mean, I don't. There's a lot of other things I would rather know. I want to know more about what's going on with the actual case. But since this can of worms has been opened, I mean, I would be curious to know a little bit more about the guy. I mean, if I was Nancy, I mean, if I was Savanah or anyone in that family, this is not the person that I would want to try to find my loved one, to be honest. They missed cameras on the home. They completely contaminated the crime scene. I mean, it's not even about releasing it so early, but it was like, what did you even get when you were there? To the point where you had to like go back and then find the 2 other cameras. Like that's so strange to me. There's a lot of things I have questions about. All right. Who did I miss? Christina says you took your grandma to Home Depot to shop and have a hot dog. Now I'm cooking the dog's food. Oh, you're so good. You're such a good family member. We love you. And then somehow you're still here saying hi in the chat. That's too nice. Yes, I agree with you. He is an idiot, Kenny. And then Khaleesi says, now we definitely got to know. Right? He made us want to know. If he had just been like, it's a clerical error, no biggie, I would have been like, all right. But then his response was pretty strange. So, and then Trish says, I'm guessing he won't be reelected. I don't think so. I guess it depends who runs against him, right? I don't know when, and I wonder when their elections even are. So, in today's, theme with winners and losers, I would say that he was the loser today for sure. Let's see what else I have for you guys. Let's go back to this slide and, okay. Oh, yes. Oh my God. Not another one from them. Okay. Hold on one second. I'm just going to get a quick sip of tea. Hold on one sec. Oops. All right. Here we go. This is fucking Khaleesi. Okay. So now we have this thing. Okay. So basically, this was so stupid. So remember all the black gloves? So in this interview that he did, I'm not even sure who this, this might have been the Today Show. He says that it was far from the truth and just bunk that the search teams threw gloves on the ground during the Guthrie investigation. And it says, but that causes some confusion based on a statement Pima County Sheriff's Department put out on February 16th. So, yeah, let's just listen.
Now let's talk about the gloves.
Can you hear this?
Because Sheriff Nanos is asked about this. So we know that the DNA on this black glove, this pair of black gloves on the side of the road, ruled out for the restaurant worker. But there has been conversation about there being multiple gloves found in this investigation. Are they related? Are they not? Sheriff Nanos is asked about it, and here's what he says.
There's stories out there that, it's from the search teams and the deputies were just throwing their gloves everywhere. Well, that is so far from the truth. That's just bunk. We know that our search and rescue team last night, they were out last night. Go tell me you find gloves laying around. That's not how they work. They're very well trained. They're very well experienced. And to be honest with you, every glove we've issued in this department to all of our search and rescues and our department members for decades, they're blue. They're not black. It, just those are silly things that people make statements of, and then they just grow.
Here's the problem with that soundbite that Sheriff Nanos just said. He said this wouldn't be from any deputies, anything like that. The problem is that on February 16th, PCSD put out an update and they point to a statement being released by the FBI in conjunction with them. And in that PCSD email, it says, quote, investigators collected approximately 16 gloves in various areas near the house. Most of them were searchers' gloves that they discarded in various areas when they searched the vicinity. This is why this is so confusing. Now, that was something that the FBI put out that PCSD agreed with, but in the end, there were official on the record statements being made that the searchers in this investigation and the investigators found gloves discarded during that time. So, yeah, this is where people are really confused about what gloves belong to who and where they were found.
Okay. So I just wanted to share that with you guys because I'm pretty sure on our stream, because we were covering all the updates, and on 216, here's the part of that statement that this was posted again. So here's the 216 statement from Pima County Sheriff referencing the FBI's comment that most of the gloves recovered had been discarded by searchers. And it says here, investigators collected approximately 16 gloves in various areas near the house. Most of them were searchers' gloves that they discarded in various areas when they searched the vicinity. Right? So for him to say that that's like totally false, okay. But then you guys reposted this, and this was like from the FBI. Like they said this. So the FBI released this statement. You guys reposted it. So why didn't you like put your own note on it saying like, oh no, they weren't from searchers? Or is he just trying to say they aren't from like his searchers? Maybe he's trying to just say they're from the FBI searchers or something. I don't know. It's just so stupid. I agree. Kenny says he needs to shut the hell up, dummy. Right? He does. He needs, and the taxpayers, they pay for a public information officer, a PIO. Just use her. Just direct all, all the media to her, all questions and comments to her, and just oversee your department and make sure they're doing their job. Like, this is insane to me. It is insane to me in this day and age, someone that of that age can be taken out of their home in the middle of the night, and there's nothing. No one knows anything. And it's like we're over a month later. It's insane. This whole thing is insane to me. So Christina, the sheriff, is absolutely wild. I agree. Okay, so Kenny says, DFJ, didn't you see Lauren's post about drinking on a live? Apparently it's not allowed according to some trolley trolls. Oh, really? So you can't drink anything on a live, or can you not just drink tea? See, I mute my mic when I do it because I know some people don't like those like sounds. And I want to respect, especially if like people have the headphones in the ears and stuff, I like to respect the listeners. That's interesting. I did not know that. I'm gonna find that post. I find that very interesting. Lori, how are you doing? I don't know if you heard if you saw the start of the stream, you got a shout out because we were talking about winners and losers, and our boy Aaron Spencer was a winner in the primaries. And thank you, because you emailed me to make sure that I saw that. Who else tagged me? Oh, Wrath. I don't think Wrath is here, but she tagged me also. So thank you to both of you for making sure that I knew that, because that is very important. So stay hydrated. Yeah, definitely have to stay hydrated. And then Kenny says, nope, you have to have dry mouth and dry throat. Oh, really? So you're not supposed to drink anything ever on YouTube, or do you just aren't supposed to announce it? Well, never mind. We won't do that again. You messaged me about this. You did? Was it today? Christina, I did not get any of this message. You have to tell me about it. Okay. I must have missed it. Oh yeah, no, you told me about Aaron Spencer. Yes, you did. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I absolutely love you. Thank you. I didn't send you anything. It was just a celebration message. Oh, Christina, you're the best. Love you. Okay. Yeah. And oh, Lori said he won big too. That's so cool. I mean, the primaries, So shout out to your cousin in Arkansas. Tell her, like, I want to like buy something for all the neighbors there, for the upcoming or the November election as like a thank you. Like, I don't know, something. We have to figure out something because like I'm so proud of everyone who came out and they voted. Good for them. Trey says, I don't mind if y'all are on mic when taking a sip. If I'm not watching but only listening, I always think the video is down when y'all mute. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Well, because every once in a while, sometimes people forget to unmute, but I've been really good about not forgetting to do that. So that's good. And drink away, but please mute for us mouth noise sufferers. I will. It's called misophonia, I think, and I have it too. Like I cannot stand when people call me and they're eating. It drives me nuts. Like it hurts my brain. I'm always just like, why are you calling me and eating? Finish eating, then call me. But I know not everyone's that crazy. Yeah. It says, so you know what, DFJ, you do you. Oh, Bochi eats during her lives. Oh, I didn't know that. Sorry. No shade to her or anything, but I cannot stand it. Like I cannot stand people who eat all during their lives. That's why I really have so much respect for Cassidy. She's really good about that too. And there's some other streamers like that. Oh my gosh, look at this. Khaleesi just became a member for 3 months. She says, woo, love you, DFJ and chat fam. Thank you. That is so nice. Thank you so much, Khaleesi. And we're so lucky to have you and have you as a mod. You're absolutely wonderful. And actually, Laura sent me a message today saying you had mentioned to her you thought I should reach out to Yarn and Order. And so she's like, Khaleesi really thinks it would be good for you to reach out to her and maybe do like a dual stream or something. I was like, okay, I trust Khaleesi's instinct. I'll do that. So I really appreciate you. It's like the mods are just so incredible. Kenny says, I drink on my lives, but I just lean away. I don't think you can hear it on my mic, at least. LOL. I'm going to do it more now that I know it bugs people. Kenny, you're so funny. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. So, but it's not a YouTube rule. It's just like a troll, like trolls don't like it or what? What's the deal with that? I'm curious. I'm going to find Lauren's post and I'll look at that. Lori says it was against the current sheriff, 53 to 26%. Wow. That is big. That is a huge discrepancy. Like, yeah, good for him. He won big. Well, he's a winner. What can we say? And again, I feel like it's like what's not the word, not premonition, but I feel like it is a sign for how a trial would go. Like these are how locals feel about Aaron Spencer. Like he's on trial for murder or red rum, and they still came out during a primary election, and they still voted for him. So imagine like when they have to vote in the as a jury about whether he is the one who should be being charged for what happened when his daughter was kidnapped by that PDF file. So that the DA has a big he has a big decision to make. Like, do they waste more resources trying to put Aaron Spencer away, or is he just gonna like cut his losses? Christina says my grandma has dementia and does these mouth noises, so I have to have an earbud in and listen to something while driving with her. It really drives me insane. So I used to have these things called, I'm gonna forget what they're called. They start with an L for your ears. Oh, they're always in my purse. I'm gonna find it for you. Loop. It's called Loop, Loop, because they're these like little, like they look like earbuds you put in your ears, and they have these little like loops on the end of them. That's supposed to help like dull the sound. They have all different kinds. So I tried those for a little bit because I was like sometimes the same way, and then I ended up just full on being like, forget it. Like they weren't strong enough. So now, yeah, I just use my earbuds and put it on the noise canceling, and it does wonders. Okay, Christina says, yes, you have to link with Sarah Yarn and Order. She is so knowledgeable. She does jury research. Okay. All right. I will reach out to her because I know she's also doing It Ends With Us. So that'll be interesting to get to, you know, when that, like, as things start picking up, especially so sometime after April 6th when we get those filings. Kenny says, yeah, or even like actually that would, I bet she would maybe, well, I don't know, but maybe if she does do jury research, I bet she would be interested to maybe even look at the Aaron Spencer case because of this election. If you have an election, a local election in a primary where someone just won, would you, yeah, that would be interesting. I wonder how she would feel, like what she thinks, like how big, I think it's a big deal, but like I don't do jury research. So I wonder what she would have to say about that. Kenny said, yeah, it was just someone being a jerk. Okay, all right, cool. In that case, hold on, I'm taking another sip. All right, we are back. Khaleesi said, did you see Sarah's series on the Schofield versus Gillard about this psychic TikToker who was harassing a professor and blamed her for the red rums? It was Cocoa Bananas that was happening too. Yes, so I remember that when it went down, like like during, yeah, like that was a while ago when that person was doing that. And I remember that they, you know, that they had filed a lawsuit, but yeah, I just heard like the trial was recently, and then what she won, right? Like $10 million against that TikToker. But that TikToker was insane. I mean, like it's one thing, you know, for people to have like, you know, try to come up with what happened, you know, maybe to speculate or put out their theories, ask questions. I never think it's a bad idea to ask questions, but that TikToker full on said, like, she was like full on blaming this professor and making like wild accusations, like saying that she was like gay and like had a relationship with one. Yeah, it's just like so much stuff I don't want to put out in the universe because it's really so ridiculous. And then she like doubled down on it. But the reason that she was doing it is because she was getting so many clicks. Like I bet she made a ton of money on TikTok with this like this stuff. And that's the kind of like, you know, that I'm glad she you know, she lost. And I'm glad that the professor won because I mean, how does the professor come back from that, you know? Crazy. MJ does stimming and vocal sounds. He can be the only loud one. Who is MJ again? Oh, Michael Jackson does stimming. He can be the only loud one. Yeah. Okay, so there's a pretrial hearing for Aaron Spencer on the 18th. Oh, the 18th of this month. Okay, good to know. Right. Would let oops. Christina says Khaleesi Ali used to make a lot of vocal. Okay, I pressed the wrong one. Sorry. Would love to see you collab with Sarah. Okay, cool. Thank you. And yeah, Christina, actually, thank you so much, Khaleesi. That's so kind of you to think of me. I really appreciate that. So I'll have to reach back to her. Yeah, with Christina and on that too. Like also, like I remember I always used to like tell my dad, like, stop, please, like, do not call me when you're eating. And like they never took it seriously. Now I'm like, I hope you all realize like misophonia, I don't know if I say it right, misophonia is a thing. And it like triggers something in some people's mind, like heads with certain noises. Okay, so now we're almost done. How long have I gone? Okay, so not bad. So this was like a good little clip from Brian. This was a short that he did. And what I found interesting about this, oops, hold on, I can't even find the slide. 1 second. I just lost my place. Okay, here we are. So what I found interesting, because I had mentioned something like this, that this is like why I didn't really think it was a burglary gone wrong was because yeah, I can't even say the right word. Burglars don't take bodies. They're crimes of opportunities and quick. And like I remember I gave that example how I had that the guy steal that stuff off my porch in the middle of the day, despite like my Fort Knox looking cameras. Like I look psycho. My house looks crazy with the amount of cameras I have. And then the radar I have, the tracker that can help track and zoom in for the license plate, that's bigger than all the cameras put together. So the front of my house looks psychotic. And these people, I got the tracker after them, granted, but because we couldn't zoom in on their plates, but now we can. But when they came, it was the middle of the day. They saw all the cameras. They even looked at the camera. They parked right in front of my mailbox and they took this giant package. It was a planter. And they just like went off with it because it was quick. They don't care. That's what burglars do. You know, they don't go inside a house and hang around for 45 minutes and then leave with a freaking body. So we've talked about this, and I just like that they kind of justified it. Khaleesi says DFJ should be in charge of security. Hey, I did actually run my neighborhood security group during COVID and after for a while. And surprisingly, most of the calls were about animals, like either lost animals, found animals. It wasn't even that much security, but the security calls were wild. And I had a key to almost like everyone's apartment too. I was like, everyone entrusted me. It was really cool. It was an honor to have that job, honestly. All right, so let's go to, well, it wasn't a job. I volunteered, but it felt like a job. Okay, let's go to my slides. We're gonna play this. Let's see if it'll let me play.
That's not true at all. You don't got to get rid of the body. You got to leave the body there, and you got to get away from the body. If that's what happened, that person, unless they had a known connection to her or that location or both, that person would have left her there and gone as fast as they possibly can, get as far away as possible. You don't bring the body with you. That is the best evidence in the case. And to keep that with you, to take it somewhere else, to then spend more time hiding it, you're putting their DNA in your vehicle, you're putting their DNA all over you. It increases the risk that this offender took exponentially. The only reason why you would want, there are two reasons why you want to remove the body. One, that's what you came to do. You came to kidnap this person, you're going to find them, and you're going to take them away. Two, people know that you have a connection to her. You want to delay discovery of her because there's evidence of you on her. And so that is why you take the body away. You make that extra effort. You take that extra risk because there is a known connection.
So if it was just a random burglary, you think they would have just left the body? Why, if she died, why would they take the body?
Absolutely, no question. I mean, it would be extremely foolish for them to continue to make risky moves. To what end? I mean, if she died and there's evidence that there was a death in the house, what does taking the body away do for you? She's going to get discovered, or she's going to be discovered missing. Either one, the alarms go off and they're looking for you. If you got in and out, and instead of spending 41 minutes there, you spent 3 minutes there and took off, you have 38 more minutes to be 38 more miles away, right? Why would you take her with you?
I thought that was interesting. And I saw one comment that kind of made me wonder. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. But they said that maybe that was a burglar, but they went to the wrong house. Like maybe, so let's go back to this map of the house. This was Nancy's. Because the next door neighbor remember he had all the gems for the gem show or whatever that was called? Was it the Gem and Crystal show? Like, so maybe, and this was during that time, right? So like maybe that was the house they were supposed to go to, but then maybe that's why he didn't recognize the camera because he ended up going to the wrong house. I don't know. What do you guys think? DFJ HOA. That's so funny. I would totally do my own HOA. Yeah. I have stories. I definitely have stories. Actually, one of them, I actually had a global real estate company write a special NDA for me because I helped so many neighbors with some of the things that this corrupt corporation was doing. And it was actually, I mean, I need someone to look at it. I need to find a really good First Amendment lawyer because I don't think it's an enforceable NDA. Like they basically didn't want me to help any neighbors anymore with any of the things. I wasn't even basically allowed to say the name of the company anymore. And for every offense, it was going to be like $5,000. And it was so funny. But yeah, no, I didn't do an HOA, but I definitely helped my neighbors. And I was a member of the tenants union. Okay, so Lori Jane says, I love the Interview Room podcast. Well, I did too, until Chris blocked me for no reason and never responded to my email. but I love everyone else in that, that he brings on. I love all his guests. But yeah, if you didn't catch that, it was last stream. DFJ and Muckracker, right? God, it's just like, but it's not like I go out and seek it. It's just like when people do stuff to me, like I'm going to respond. And I'll get to the bottom of everything. Christina says, I'm still on my stalker theory. Okay. I could see that too. I could totally see that too. But do you guys think there's any yeah, I mean, do you think maybe there was anything about the gem and crystal show? Like, because their neighbor is the guy who runs it, and he had all those gems and crystals, but are they worth, I mean, but they probably are worth something, but maybe I could see that being, a burglary gone wrong, maybe, because then he's like goes in there and is like, well, where's the gems? Where's all the rocks, But I don't know. I'm just curious. And maybe that's what happened, but I have no idea. I just thought it was like an interesting theory. But yeah, it could be easily a stalker theory. And then did you see that other? Oh, I posted this on my X. Yeah, gems and crystals are definitely worth money. Well, and hopefully, I know, like, especially if you charge them under the full moon, right? If you charge them under the full moon, aren't they supposed to be like even better or something? So they're maybe worth more. Oh, you think that's why I got blocked? LOL, just kidding. Well, actually, it was Rose Wild who brought to my attention. She was on one of the lives, and someone had sent a super chat asking for them to unblock like a YouTube account called like J is for Justice or something. And then Rose Wild was like, they probably thought like your ex account has something to do with the J for Justice or whatever. I was like, oh my God. Because it would be the only thing that's one of the only things that would make sense, besides, again, like maybe I posted something of someone that they don't like. So who knows? DFJ, me and other social media, I don't go often. LOL. I'm trying to get better at it though. Don't worry, you don't have to go often. It's no biggie. Khaleesi, I was addicted to buying crystals. Were you? I like them. Like I've seen some, I've been tempted so many times, but like, I spent all my money on security cameras, so I have to like decide like security cameras or crystals. Like it's always those kinds of questions. Or StreamYard, God, StreamYard is like crazy. It's stupid expensive for no reason. You cleanse them in full moon and charge them in the sun. The ones that can be in the sun anyway. No amethyst in the sun. Shoot. I just put them all on a tray and put them in front of the window when it's a full moon. So good to know. I hope I didn't ruin my amethyst. Thank you for that, Kenny. That's very smart knowledge from you. Lori said, I'm going to ask them why. Yeah, and the thing was, it wasn't the interview. You have to see, if you go on my last stream, I do have like, it's timestamps. You can see that section of it where I try to like go through what happened. Because it's just Chris McDonough. Like, he's the only one that had me blocked. And it's on X that I'm blocked. I'm not blocked from, well, I'm a paying member of the stream, or I have a gifted membership for their stream. So I don't think they can block me yet. I don't know, but maybe they still could. But I didn't do anything to them. And I haven't said anything to them publicly. I just brought it up here. He doesn't like being associated with other channels, I think. He yelled at someone who sent a $20 super chat and referenced another podcast. Yeah, see, it's so strange. Like, once like you see someone, then you start seeing all the little things. Like, I'm starting to kind of see something like that. But then I still give him the benefit of the doubt, because I mean, look at, runs a cold case foundation. Dr. Gary Brocado works with psycho people all the time, and he respects him and goes on with him, and they are on the same foundation together, and they do a lot of good work together. So like, I still love Dr. Gary Brocado. I like everyone they bring on, and I had no problem with him, honestly. I'm just confused why he was blocked. And then he never accepted my, my request to my email to see if he would let me know why that he blocked me on X, because I was trying to repost something he posted. And then when Rosewild said that apparently he had blocked Jay for Justice, when she said maybe they just got your names mixed up, I sent another follow-up email, and I was like, oh, I just want to make sure that like I'm like, don't fuck with Justice, but I'm not J for Justice, or whatever the hell that was. I was like, I'm not associated with them. You can see my history on my account and my YouTube account, and they never responded to that either, and I'm still blocked. So I guess he's just doubling down. Who knows? No, the moon is fine for amethyst. Oh, just not sun. Okay, it bleaches out the color. Okay, good to know. Cameras all the way. Okay. So, yay for timestamps, right, Khaleesi? Thank you. I know I try so hard to do that because I think it just makes it easier for people coming in who like want to skip certain things. So, we'll see. Okay, so last thing, we are almost done. Where I don't even know where we're at now. Okay, so let's go back to this slide. Yeah, so basically where we're at with Nancy. Oops, now I'm totally gone. Hold on. Oh, it's not letting me share this. What the heck? Okay, 1 second. I have to reload this, I think. Sorry, you guys. How is everyone doing? We're almost done. Is anyone else going on tonight? Do we know? Okay. And now we're seeing, okay, share all, present. All right. Oh, it's still not working. I have to do it this way. Sorry, 1 sec, you guys. I just have to share the screen this way. We're almost done. My brain is fried. Okay. Here we go. All is good. We are here. Okay. So, and yeah, this was from the last time that we spoke about this. Basically, she went back. It says back to normal soon, like was the headline, because she went back to the Today Show and was saying hi to everyone and that they had a prayer for her. And it was really heartwarming. And then, okay, I'm sorry, I don't watch the Today Show. Did you all know that Carson Daly was on the Today Show? And do any of you remember who that is? I was like, what? Like when I saw him? You guys remember this guy? Do you remember? Oh, I wasn't even sharing the screen. Oh, after all that. So no, here. So you guys, this is so funny to me. Okay, so let me go back. Hold on. I'm so sorry. I thought I was sharing it. Okay, so this was, yeah, so she went back to the studio and it was just weird because, yeah, you had some headlines that say cruel truth. Some of Savanah Guthrie coworkers hope she won't return. But then it says, like, today, crew member joined in spontaneous prayer during Savanah Guthrie's visit. And it just says, like, maybe she'll be back to normal soon. So she might be coming back soon, and whatever she does, everyone grieves different. Like, good for her. I know when my grandfather died, like, I mean, I didn't even have time to sit and like be upset because there's so many things to do. And I almost think it's almost better in a way to have things to do sometimes. But I could see her, because otherwise I could imagine this isn't even our relative that's missing. And like, we're consumed by where she is and what's going on. So I could see her just like it being consuming for her. But it might also be time for her to try to get back to some sort of normalcy. So yeah, anyways, again, this is
for all of us. We all feel so and ask for that miracle.
Eyes on her, just us. It was our entire crew. There was 100 people in the room,
and she
came into the middle, no speech, spoke from the heart, said the most perfect words you could ever imagine.
Yeah. So I don't watch the Today Show, and I was like, wait, Carson Daly is on the Today Show? Like, what? Do you guys? If you're too young in the chat, basically that is a guy who used to be on MTV, and I am shocked that we just saw him. Or we're getting to that one next. But yeah, I was just kind of shocked to see his face because I didn't know he was on the tape. I'm just like, what? I don't know. You had no clue either? Okay. But you know who he is, right? I mean, that was a shocker for me when I watched the video. That was the first thing I saw. And then I was like, oh yeah, okay, now we're talking about Nancy. Yarn order will be on soon, but don't worry about DFJ. I can hold down this chat while Khaleesi heads over. Oh shoot. Okay. He said, I appreciate the great people who put in the timestamps in Dave Neal's comments. Okay, so we're almost done. Hold on. There was one more thing. Okay, so I just basically, again, there is still hope. And again, even that we're not seeing everything that's happening. So there's still, hopefully stuff is still going on behind the scenes. There's still technology. There's still cameras. There's still, there's still DNA and there's still family trees of the DNA they could be, breaking down. They could still be going through her phone to see like who was, talking to her. There's still different things that they could do. There's still a chance that we will find out what happened with Nancy and that we'll find the person who did this to her and that they will be, oh, you're so sweet. Christina's saying, thank you. But and that will the person will be brought to justice. So I'm just going to keep her in my prayers. And so again, on a positive note, I was thinking about it because I keep thinking about the dogs because I remember the first and like it was like the first day or the second day maybe that they brought the dogs in, and then I think it was Lori because I was trying to find what happened with that. I'm pretty sure it was Lori who told us like the trail stopped like in the driveway, which means like she was probably put in the car, and that's why, because dogs can really smell far. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but I thought it was so cute. This I love tracking dogs. Like I've kind of like there's different activities you can do with animals, even if you're not like in law enforcement, where you can teach them like scent training and stuff. That's really cool. If you're into that, there's a lot of YouTube videos on it. So I've always like thought about that. I was like, oh, one day I want to like rescue one of these scent dogs, but they're a lot of work, a lot of work. And I'm just like, that'd be so cool to do that, as a volunteer. But anyways, this was so cool. So I want to just show you, end with this video. I'm pretty sure this was the last one. Oh, and then before that too, as a preview for coming up, it ends with us next, was it April 6th? We're going to get stuff. So that will start picking up again. But as far as trials, you guys remember Jules is going to be covering the Fulio case. I tried researching that. That case is so bonkers. Like the whole trying to figure out the background of them and the lyrics and the songs where they call out each other's names and saying that they're going to off them is so wild. I need to make some sort of flow chart, but I think that trial might be worth like getting into. So I'm going to maybe try to like, I don't know how, I don't know if she's going into it blind or if she knows a lot about it. I have to ask her, but I was going to try to like do my research on it so that I'm well versed on it when she starts covering it. So I might present that to you guys, but yeah, the last thing, we're going to end on this note. We're going to see this dog find this kid. And then I just want to say again, thank you to everyone who showed up because I know a lot of other things were going on tonight. Thank you, Christina and Khaleesi, for being here and being so supportive, and for the whole chat. I love all you guys. If anyone actually made it to the end, if you want to leave a comment, that'd be awesome in the chat. And I hope everyone has a great week. So let's sign off with this.
If you've never seen a bloodhound in action, you're about to meet a hero named Hoot.
Yes! That's a good girl!
A very good girl and a very good night for this Florida canine named Hoot, whose job this week was to find a missing boy near Port St. Lucie. All she needed was a harness and a sniff of the boy's belongings.
Check. Good check.
And she was off on the trail.
She's on him.
Pulling police through alleys and streets, around fences, and down railroad tracks.
Is there a police department?
As desperate as anybody, it seemed, to find the boy, a 13-year-old with autism who had wandered away from a local gym.
Ethan, you in here?
And when Hoot finally succeeded, just after nightfall, in an instant, she went from search dog to comfort dog.
Come pet my dog, Ethan.
The boy there petting her on the head. Hoot's handler also celebrated the job well done.
You found him. Good girl.
And while bloodhounds don't always look happy exactly, I'd say Hoot is smiling tonight. Hoot really is a hero. Port St. Lucie police told us that the canine there, Hoot, has helped find 4 missing children in the past 2 years. Hoot the hero indeed.
So I just love that. And I love you guys. Have a good evening, everyone.